and welcome to the CNBC TV18 Mumbai studio. I'm Ekta Batra here watching your stocks this afternoon. Well, it's turning out to be a good, stable session for us. We have the Nifty, which is at 22,289, and the mid-cap index, which is up around 385 odd points. So no complaints coming in there. Joining us this afternoon, we have Astha Jain of Hem Securities and technical analyst Rajat Bose to answer all of your queries. Astha as well as Rajat, welcome to the show. Well, before we kick off the show, the mandatory question to you, Rajat, good session, follow-on buying from Friday's low that we saw. What would your recommendation be in today's trade?
Well, I would say that the Nifty looks pretty good. In fact, if it doesn't fall below, say, 22,250, then there is every possibility that it might climb up further. And once it crosses 22,330, then you will see some more bullishness will come in, and there would be fresh buying. Regarding the Bank Nifty, I would say that 47,850. It needs to take out 48,000. If 48,000 is taken out, then there could be another 500 points jump. Although tomorrow there could be some volatility. There are some signs that volatility might creep in, but I don't think that we are going to go below, say, 22,200 kind of levels. So Nifty is on its way up again, and all probability, the downswing that we have seen for some days, a little more than a week, that has come to an end on Friday late session.
Okay, all right. Well, we have a couple of queries now. We have Josefa, who writes to us from Mumbai, holds 35 shares of JSW Steel, which is bought at around 750 odd rupees. So it's sitting on a profit at this point in time. He's a long-term investor, wants to know the future prospects of his investment. Astha, tell me more about this.
Hi, good afternoon. Talking about JSW Steel, we are positive on this counter, recommending a hold as well as buy for the price target of around 950. Although targets are small, but we will increase those targets after watching the results also. So we are waiting for those results to come. So talking about this counter, although in the Q3 performance was not good, but what we believe in the Q4, the company will be showing strong volume. In fact, iron ore cost is increasing, but now the company is focusing on becoming self-sufficient in this space. So that is also helping, will help the company in showing strong financial performance and volume growth, which we are expecting to come. It is basically from one of their facilities, which they are commissioned at the Bhushan Power Steel. So we are expecting that to commission from March 24 itself. So that will be helping company in showing strong volume. So I think if we combine all these factors, I think this stock can show more upside. And that's why we are recommending hold for this counter with the initial price target of 950.
Okay, all right. Well, what would your recommendation be on JSW Steel, Rajat?
I would also say a hold, and I would not advocate a buy immediately, because there might be a situation where it might test, say, 800 to about 825. This range might be revisited. At that point of time, one can decide to buy more. Otherwise, for the existing position, I would say keep a stop loss below 750 and continue to carry on, because it is a slow mover. Do not expect any fireworks immediately, but it will go up.
Okay. Okay, all right. So that's on JSW Steel. Well, let's get in another query now. We have Simar Kaur, who writes to us from Ludhiana. She holds 30 shares of CMS Info Systems, which she's bought at around 300. She wants to know what to do, whether to exit or to stay invested in CMS Info Systems. So that's the call coming in. 385 odd rupees for that particular counter. She's bought it at around 300. She's sitting on a marginal profit. She wants to know what to do going forward. What would you recommend? Do you think that, Rajat, that maybe there could be some amount of, upside further from these levels? And what would your recommendation be?
Yeah, as of now, looking at the moving averages, there is a possibility of it's coming down. And if it were to fall below 370, then it might test its 200-day moving average that is at around 370. It can go down to something like 360. But only below 360 you should think of exiting the counter. Otherwise, it may bounce back once again. But unless it takes out 420, do not expect fresh upswing immediately.
Okay, all right. What about you, Astha? What would your recommendations be on CMS Info Systems? It's a small cap. Have you looked at it in terms of the fundamentals?
Yes, and we are recommending a hold on this counter because we have seen the management commentary and they are expecting the revenues to be at around 20 to 50 in FY24 and 2500 crore in FY25. So strong revenue growth. And I think there are segments like MS, which is managed services, as well as ATM and AIoT. I mean, all these segments will be the next growth driver for the company. In fact, in Q3 itself, company has won the order worth of rupees 600 CR. So looking after all these, we believe that company will be showing strong trend on the upside. So we are positive on this counter, but at present moment of a time, we are recommending hold. Our price target is 410 to 415.
Okay, all right. So that's on CMS Info Systems. Karan now writes to us from Mumbai. He holds 50 shares of TCS, which he's bought at 3,000. Wants to know what to do, whether he should hold or sell that particular counter. Well, there's so much to and fro about the entire IT space. Now, TCS is the one which is on our radar at this point in time, sitting on a profit, and it is a blue chip. What should one do if they hold TCS at good levels of around 3,000 if you compare it to the current market price? What would your recommendation be, Astha, on TCS? Do you think it's a hold for further upside?
First of all, a disclosure from our side, it may be a stock which we hold in our portfolio also, as we run PMS services. Now talking about this counter, so we are recommending hold. Why not buy? Because still we need to see how this company will going to perform in the coming quarters. So that is the reason I'm recommending hold on this counter. Although we are expecting what management has guided for the EBIT margin of 26 to 28%, they will maintain that. And I think the going forward, the quarters will be better. From the financial point of view, financial performance point of view, we are expecting quarters to be strong, but we really need to see. Although, in fact, in the management's guidance, also what we have seen that they are seeing the green shoots in their BFSI segment, etc. But we really need to confirm all these after looking their forthcoming results. Although there is a time lag of 2 to 3 months, but till that time, we are recommending hold. Initial price target which we are giving is 3930 to 4040.
Okay, all right. Rajat, what is your call on TCS on the technicals? What is your target price stop loss?
Well, immediately it may go further down. It can come down to something like its 200 exponential moving average, which is currently around, say, 3,700. To be precise, it is at 37.27. If it were to be violated, then it can even go down to 3,600. But if one is a long-term investor, I don't see any reason that you should be panicking or you should be thinking of getting out, because among the conventional software solution services kind of companies in India, as of now, TCS chart looks the best. I'm not including the specialized companies like ER&D software companies and all. They are slightly different, but this one is the best among the conventional software companies, and continue to hold on. It is likely to do well. It is on an uptrend, although there is a lot of short-term volatility.
Okay, all right. Well, now we have Swami Naidu, who writes to us from Vizag, holds 659 shares of Jio Financial Services at 330 odd rupees. He wants to know what to do, what are the future prospects of his investment. Well, it comes at a very pertinent time in terms of a question, Astha, because Jio Financial is sitting at a fresh 52-week high post its numbers. And the street seems to be quite bullish on, the fact that they've reported a good set. What would your recommendation be? Do you think that they could be disruptors within the entire lending space? And would it be a buy at these levels? And what would your recommendation be at the person who's bought it at around 330 odd rupees, Swami Naidu, who's bought it at 330?
So I recommend hold on this counter with a price target of 430. Talking about this counter, yes, they will get the advantage of being a new entrant into this space, and they have a strong opportunities coming from their AI as well as analytics approach. So that will really be helping company in getting strong opportunities in this segment in the secured lending business also. And they have one more major advantage of having a strong parentage. I mean, the parentage is strong, so wide customer base they are getting from that. So, I mean, in all ways, it is looking good to us. Recommending hold with a price target of 430 at the initial levels.
Okay, all right. And would you have a recommendation on the technicals, Rajat, if you've looked at Jio Financial?
Jio Finance, after right from the beginning of this year, 2024, it is on an uptrend, and it is a very healthy uptrend. When I say healthy uptrend, I'm talking technically, and that is most of the time it is getting supported at 9-day exponential moving average and Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band, which is +2 standard deviation band, that is resisting it, and that is quite natural because 96% of the data on closing price basis will be captured by Bollinger Band. So now that it is maintaining above 9-day exponential moving average on most of the days, it is quite bullish and one should continue. And with 3.11 billion bottom line, it is actually performing pretty well fundamentally. So continue. And on a dip, one can even buy.
Okay, all right. Well, that's the view coming in on Jio Financial Services. We need to take a short break on the show with the news that the markets are in a steady state at this point in time. We have the mid-cap index up around 0.8%, good advance decline ratio on our hands as well. Take a break and be back with more queries on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, for the markets holding steady, a couple of stocks which stand out is MOIL or MOIL. That stock is up around 6% at this point in time. It's done well this month with the returns of 25% just in the month of April. So good going for that one. Glenmark Life is gaining ahead of its numbers on the 25th, which is this week. So that stock is up around 4.5%. Interglobe Aviation is doing well. So that stock is up around 3.9%. And even stocks such as IIFL Securities, IIFL Finance, both these stocks are doing seeing some amount of traction. Remember, IIFL Finance has had a very tough year. It's down 28% on a year-to-date basis, but it's seeing good amount of traction today. That stock is up around 5%. Vodafone Idea, the FPO has been subscribed. It ends today. That stock is down around 4%, seeing some amount of downside. Syngene, ahead of its numbers again this week, is weak, so that stock is down 1%. Watch out for that. It could probably be a bit of a tough quarter for Syngene after the funding issues that the biotech firms are facing in the US. We still have with us Astha Jain as well as Rajat Bose to answer all of your queries. Let's get to another question now. We have Asil Roshan, who writes to us from Rajasthan, holds 100 shares of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, which is bought at 59 odd rupees, and wants to know whether to hold or to sell that particular counter. So this is the word on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Buy price is 59 odd rupees, just about flattish at this point. Rajat, let's come to you on this one first. What would your technicals predict on this?
First of all, if I heard you correctly, then the person has actually bought it at 59, which is at a pretty high level. And this stock has been showing a distribution pattern, and it went down to 44, and now there had been a sharp bounce in the recent past, and again it is coming down. Today also it is showing a black body, and it is trying to go down. If it were to fall below its 200-day moving average once again, which is at 50, then there would be further weakness, and if it falls below 44, it can go further down. My suggestion would be that now that you are suffering less losses, get out of it.
Okay, all right. So you're recommending to exit that particular counter. Astha, what about you?
We are recommending hold on this counter with a price target of 61. So anywhere it is above the cost price of 59 rupees. So I recommend hold and wait patiently for that price to come. Now the reason behind hold is that the management guidance was strong. They were giving the guidance of around 20% to 25% AUM growth. So strong guidance on the AUM growth front. In fact, CDR ratio of the company was also maintained at 88%, and they have given the guidance of maintaining ROE from FY24 to 26 above 22%. So, I mean, the guidance is looking strong to us, and that is deciding the future prospects of the company at present moment of the time. So, looking after all these, and in fact, they have partnered with two fintech companies also in the supply chain financing. So, we are optimistic on the prospects of the company and recommending hold rather than booking loss at the present moment of a time, although price target is 61 at the current levels.
Okay, all right. You have a target of around 61 odd on Ujjivan. Past 12 months, as you can see, the stock has done well. It's given almost 100% in terms of returns. Samir Naidu writes to us from Chennai, holds 50 shares of Titan, which is bought at 3,000, wants to know what to do, whether to hold or to sell at current levels. Well, Titan, which is bought at around 3,000 odd rupees. You go first on this one, Astha. What would you recommend on this?
I'm recommending hold on this counter, and buying on dip strategy can also be applied on this counter for the price target of 3850 to 3900. So in their quarterly release, company has shown strong growth in the volume terms of around 19%, and at the domestic level it was around 17%. So I mean the strong growth being posted by the company. In fact, they have opened 340 jewelry stores till date. So again, a strong growth in the opening of new stores, and in fact, they have a strong market share of around 8% in the jewelry. And I mean, this is a very strong and a very wide market. So I think all these factors are indicating towards a strong future prospects of the company going ahead. Recommending a hold as well as buying on dip strategy can be applied for the price target of 3850.
Okay, all right. So that's on Titan. Rajat, any recommendations on Titan?
Well, I would say that Titan is a blue chip and it is performing pretty well. Only over the last few months, say since early February, it is in a range-bound situation, showing some weakness. But unless the 200 exponential moving average, which is currently around 3,400, it needs. I mean, if it were to go below 3,400 and stay there for at least 1 week or so, then only exit. That means you put a stop loss around 3,350 and continue to hold on.
Okay, all right. Well, those are the numbers coming in from Raj Ratan Wire. The revenue is up 9.4% on a year-on-year basis. 240 odd crores is what they've reported. EBIT up in single digits as well. It's up 5%. Neeraj Rathore writes to us from Mumbai, holds 15 shares of ITC, which is bought at around 236. Wants to know what to do, whether to hold or sell, and if more can be added on ITC. Well, good price to buy it at 236. What would you recommend on this one, Rajat? Do you think it's a hold?
Yeah, it's definitely a hold. And if the investor is willing to hold ITC for longer term, meaning at least say a couple of years or so, then he can think of adding more to it. But the original position should continue to be held.
Okay. And what about you, Asa? What would you recommend on ITC?
Recommending hold because I think the company will be doing well in the cigarette business as well as the other segments have also shown strong growth for the company, especially their hotel business, their other FMCG business. So I think a hold is a better choice rather than moving out from the stock. And a price target can be set at around 450 to 480 at the current level. So a hold from our side.
Okay, all right. 450 to 480 is the price according to the fundamental analyst when it comes to ITC. That's Astha Jain. Well, Vivek Suri now writes to us from Kolkata, and this is an investment query that we have. He asks which sector he should invest his money in, as fixed deposit interest rates offered by banks are lower at this point in time. Well, that is the key question, which I think everybody has, whether they want to, whether they've probably even missed the rally to beat those rates. So, Astha, you take this one. What would you recommend?
So power sector is looking good, engineering sector is looking good, and industrials. So I mean, if I look after any company, then Alicon Engineering is looking good to us. Recommending a buy on that counter. Results have also come, and I think the results were quite strong. So Alicon Engineering is a stock which one can look upon. And in fact, in the NBFC space also, we are quite positive. Poonawalla FinCorp is looking strong to us in that space. So another counter is Poonawalla FinCorp. There also one can see these strong prospects going ahead. So these two sectors are looking good to us, apart from banking, in which ICICI Bank is the third choice from our side.
Okay, all right. Rajat, any sectors technically that you would recommend? I mean, just which stands out in the technicals as compared to the others? Would that be something that you look at?
May I give you a certain criteria that I follow while choosing my investments? First of all, return ratios should be good. I prefer ROIC above 25%. At least a bare minimum of 20% is definitely needed. And after that, if you find a company, there are lots of companies of that kind in our market as well. And once you find that, you just check it whether the company is able to deploy fresh cash. If it is generating so much of return on capital, then it should be able to redeploy that money in their business. And if that second criteria is also followed, then go for a durable moat. If you can find that kind of a company, then definitely over a period of time, you will beat bank deposits or even non-banking financial company deposits.
Okay, all right, Rajat, as well as Astha. Well, that's all the time that we have on the show. But do remember to email us all of your queries. We will be addressing them with our experts. Stay tuned. Closing bell will take you through the last hour of trade. Thanks for watching.